Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. Today we're here with the Empire, going to be taking on the Beastmen. This is game 3 of the series between myself and Zardar Total War, the final of the Flash tournament that Turin put on just a little while ago. So again, we've got Empire versus the Beastmen, so let's go ahead and take a look at the army composition. We've got Boris Todbringer and an Amber Wizard here, up on the Griffin for the double armor-piercing terror option. The Amber Wizard's taking Flock of Doom, Amber Spear, and Pan's Pelt for a spell loadout. We've got 4 units of Pistoliers in Vanguard with the Zintler's Reiksguard protecting. We've got another unit of Reiksguard over on the far side. The infantry force is going to be a mix of Spearmen with shields. We've also got 4 Free Company Militia and a single Flagellant. Flagellant is here to clean up the low armor infantry if my opponent brought any. Free Company Militia are going to be pretty solid in this matchup. They can definitely dish out a high volume of non-armor piercing missile fire with full 90 unit models. They also have solid combat stats. Overall, a very cost-effective unit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So for my opponent here, he's got plenty of Warhounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 Chaos Poison Warhounds. We've got 2 Centaurs with great weapons. Few Ungor Herd for the main line, backed up by 2 Bestigor Herd, Morgr the Shadowgave, and a Brave Shaman Lore of Death. And he looks like he's got 2 more Centaurs with great weapons and some additional Hounds out here. So right off the bat, we got these Hounds into a little bit of a baited position where they were chasing the Pistoliers, and we just came in with the Zintler's Reiksguard and put a quick charge on them and actually just shattered them just about. So we've got more Hounds coming in on the far side, and now Centaurs with great weapons as well. So this is suddenly going to turn into a pretty bad situation for the Zintler's Reiksguard, as these Centaurs with great weapons come in and start to deal some nice armor-piercing damage. They're trapped in here by the Hounds as well. They're getting poisoned, so it's a pretty rough situation. We are going to move the Pistoliers into a supporting position and try and start shooting into the flank here of some of these units. You can see the Pistolier fire now coming in, trying to get some damage done. We're also bringing in Boris and the Amber Wizard here to come support. We've got the Flock of Doom dropped just to drain these guys out. We also hit the Zintler's Reiksguard with the Pan's Pelt to give them a little bit of physical resistance to help them hang in this fight just a little bit longer. They have taken quite a bit of damage already. But, you know, if we can hold them here at least long enough to deal with these units of Centaurs, then we will have got our cost out of them. So we're going to bring in Boris here for the quick tear route, and an Amber Spear actually cuts through quite a few of them and does kill a few of the Zintler's Reiksguard as well, unfortunately. But we are able to rout them off, so that works for me. Meanwhile, over on the far side here, we had to get a little bit of an awkward engagement where we kind of the Centaurs were coming down on this side, so I sent in the Pistoliers in melee as a kind of sacrificial interrupt. They managed to interrupt these 2 units, and then we came in and countercharged with this other unit of Reiksguard. And you can see we've gotten into the rear here, and they're going to be doing a ton of damage, these Centaurs, the great weapons, and the Hounds in here as well. So pretty good stuff so far. Zintler's Reiksguard on the other side, of course, but these Reiksguard looking very, very cool as well. Mainline fight all across the line here. You can see the Zintler's Reiksguard coming back. Spirit Leech being dropped on Boris, which is very nice, but now that we've dealt with a lot of the mobility for my opponent, we're going to be able to come in and start dropping some goonage on the Beastman leadership. You can see some units getting tossed in the back line there, and some serious terror routing hopefully going to be dropped here. Very nice play to pull up these Chaos Spawn to attempt to block up these Griffins. Of course, the Chaos Spawn for the Beastmen do have poison attacks, and they have high mass, so they're an ideal unit for tying down excuse me, a high mass monster like this Griffin, for example. Meanwhile, Pistoliers just being parked in the back line to shoot indiscriminately into the back of the Beastman formation here. You can see Morgr starting to take some damage. Morgr does have regeneration, but he only has 15 armor and pretty low melee defense as well. So he definitely will get gooned very hard by these Griffins. You can see the Deathcaster trying to drop the Spirit Leeches there, but unfortunately getting terrified and also getting routed off there. So at this point, the balance power is starting to creep in my favor a little bit. The Zintler's Reiksguard again countercharging into these Centaurs, but they got a little bit too low on health and just got gibbed instantly by Morgr there, turned into a group of Chaos Spawns, so that's most unfortunate. The other unit of Reiksguard over on the far side holding out admirably. You can see this engagement developed in such a way that we were pretty much routed off on both sides in terms of the Pistoliers, but Reiksguard still hanging in here with one more very tattered unit of Pistoliers. Meanwhile, in the main line fight, these Spearmen at Arms with shields holding the line admirably against all these Ungors, allowing the Free Company to kind of get a nice concave of fire here. we're focusing in, trying to finish off on the Chaos Spawn, and then we're going to be focusing on the front line a little bit more. But you can see here we've got the leadership of the Beastmen on the run. Boris going to get caught out a little bit here. He's got the Pants Pelt to give him extra speed and physical resistance. He's going to need that physical resistance as he gets collapsed on by Centaurs with great weapons here, which can potentially be a dangerous situation for a heroic unit like Boris to be in. Boris doesn't have the best combat stats, so he's going to take some damage here. But we're going to move back towards our own lines. We're bringing up the Free Company to try and get into a firing position, dropping another Flock of Doom as well in this pocket just to do a little bit more extra damage here. And yeah, you can see the balance power has actually climbed back a little bit towards even, inching back in my favor a little bit here as these Free Company kind of line up on this side to pop off some shots here. Another Spirit Leech being cast by that Bray Shaman there. He's doing a good job of trying to consistently DPS Boris. It is pretty tough with his regeneration and everything, but he's a Free Company militia, man. I just love when they open up shots. Just that pure volume of fire with all their pistols looks very, very cool. Amber Wizard taking quite a bit of damage in that front line engagement, unfortunately, but we're able to get him back up in the air before it was too late. Reiksguard forming up for a potential charge here with these Pistoliers kind of on the side here. And yeah, a lot of these other units for the Beastmen rallying in the periphery, but we are going to drop down with Boris here and try and take out that Bray Shaman. And, you know, the Free Company here lining up for a beautiful beautiful side volley here into this group of Beastmen fighting in the low ground. You can see the Amber Wizard also coming down one more time here, going to be dropping a nice terror route, and a lot of these Beastmen forces at this point, their leadership is super low. It looks like we did have a Fate of Buna going off. I'm not 100% sure who that was targeting, but at the end of the day, you can see actually Boris is taking a little bit of damage here from the Spirit Leech and from the Bestigor Herd, but just not going to have the leadership to hold out at this point. The Beastmen are just going to get terrified. You can see Morgur getting gibbed by the Amber Wizard here, which is always a rough time. And the Bestigor here taking the worst of these, the volume of fire concept from the Free Company here. Although they don't have the best AP values, 90 unit models means they can dish out some serious damage, even against armored units. But very well played to Zardar. I'm going to take that one home and win the Flash tournament. That was the final best of 3 series. So yeah. Victory for me and for the Empire. Very fun stuff. In terms of the army breakdown here, both units of Reiksguard, 92 and 115, a lot of those coming against Centaurs, the Great Weapons as well, so both of them performed very, very well. I really like these guys in this matchup. The Pistoliers, you know, they did their job of being both a distraction and, you know, kind of a interrupt tool, I guess, a sacrifice, if you will, but they definitely did their jobs. Free Company Militia got some decent kills, and the Spearmen at Arms also did relatively well in the front line, but Boris and the Amber Wizard were the main things that won the battle there. Obviously the Terror and the single target gooning were able to take down the Bray Shaman and Morgur and finish off the leadership of the Beastmen. Likewise, winning that mobility engagement so decisively with the Zentler's Reiksguard up against the Centaurs with great weapons and so on, was able to swing the balance pretty heavily in my favor. Bestigor Herd obviously cleaning up in the main line as you would expect relatively well. I didn't really have a lot of infantry here that could stand up to them. But yeah, 33 for Morgur, 46 for the Bray Shaman, Lore of Death, and I definitely agree with his spell selections there. I mean, it's tough not to take Fate of Buna and Spirit Leech. May have wanted to use one of those Fate of Bunas early on if possible to get rid of the Zentler's Reiksguard or the this other unit of Reiksguard, but still ended up being a very close battle. And I have to say, as I said in the last video, I'm very impressed with Zardar, considering he's not really a multiplayer guy per se. He's done very, very well for himself. Did very well in this tournament. So yeah, very fun stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this battle. It's been a lot of fun, you know, showing you guys the replays from this Flash tournament. We're going to be taking a look at some other things going forward. I've got a few plans for some series. I do want to do a how to read unit cards series. I think a lot of you guys would find that potentially very useful with Norska coming out. And there's going to be a lot of new units and new concepts to look at. So I definitely am considering making a series about how to read unit stat cards, explaining, you know, what the different stats mean and how to interpret them, what are some highs and lows, you know, just kind of how to interpret things so that when new content comes out that you guys are able to evaluate it and kind of try and come up with your own builds, because it's all well and good, you know, watching my videos and getting builds from there and trying to learn the meta, but my goal is to help you guys you know, give you the tools to be able to help yourselves and be able to build your own builds and kind of think about things in a way where you can be successful without necessarily always having to rely on getting builds from like myself or Turin or whoever. So I'm going to be starting up that series relatively soon. I haven't decided 100% how I want to present everything, but keep your eyes peeled for that. If you like this kind of multiplayer content, keep it right here, as I'm bringing it every day. So stay tuned for more, and we'll see you next time.